Oh, hi, class. I'll now discuss the primary methods of social work as of our first unit. The primary methods of social work refers to the roots of the profession because it is giving way to other branches. So from the methods, we draw out the different fields of social work practice. It is fundamental because if we want to master other types of strategies and methods in social work, you have to first be familiar with the different techniques and strategies in primary methods. So these are the social casework, social group work, and community organization. So for this afternoon, we'll only be discussing casework and group work, and then I'll be discussing on Saturday the community organization. So casework refers to the social work with individuals. It is one-on-one helping approach. It is main part of the generalist approach because you cannot really implement group work and community organization without knowing or applying casework. So you cannot think of the group itself as one group without understanding the dynamics of each individual. In the same way, for the community, you have to understand that the community is composed of individuals and groups, and the groups are still, although they could be represented as one, they are still comprised of individuals. So the main focus is to help individuals help themselves. Social casework is a method of helping people solve problems. It is individualized, it is scientific, while at the same time artistic. So it's good to reflect that it is not just scientific, or we do not just apply the theories, but we also understand that we cannot expect that the result of one case will be the same. And although we laid out different tips in terms of helping with people, we cannot say that they are not uh, unique because each individual should also be approached according to their needs and capacities. It helps individuals with personal as well as external and environmental matters, putting into mind that casework is integrating the physical, at the same time the external or the environmental aspects. So the systems theory is coming into play, and the role of the environment is very much considered. It is a method of helping through a relationship that taps personal, at the same time other resources for coping with problems. But in casework, we look at that the first resource that we have are the clients themselves, so the individual. So it's not automatic that since we are into helping relationship, the help are just with the external factors. So that the help coming from the client themselves, so that they will also see their potentials, are very important. Interviewing and assessment are major tools of casework because knowing them, at the same time their the nature of the problem, their capacities and motivation are very important. And it is bio psychosocial because it integrates the biological, psychological, and social aspects. Meanwhile, when we say group work, it is a method of social work that helps persons to enhance their social functioning through a purposeful group experiences, because the type of experiences that we are providing are well thought of. So they are not just intended to be given in any way that we prefer, but there is a conscious process of determining what type of experiences will be given again, although this also does not mean that there is no sense of being spontaneous, because it will still come differently among the individuals in the group, because we want to help them cope more effectively with their personal, group, or community problems. Then social group work is also bringing out positive change. It is educational process. It would emphasize the development and the adjustment of an individual through voluntary association, because it would be really difficult if you would push individuals to be part of the group. But later on in your specific courses in relation to group work, you will also encounter that there are instances that people are being forced to be part of the group for some treatment goals. It is also a psychosocial process, and it is concerned with developing leadership and cooperation with building on the interests of the group for a social purpose. So group work, just to have a glimpse of it, is incorporating different types of approaches according to the type of problems that we also want to address. For instance, psychosocial approach is gearing towards prevention and enhancement, as well as restoration or rehabilitation. And what would distinguish it from the other type of approaches is the way that it look into the importance of ensuring that the type of intervention that we are giving are actually applying the participation of the different groups, their members, and the environment. So psychosocial, that the intervention are not just to be given to the client themselves, but the role of their environment is very important. So the major attention is also being given to the discomfort of the individuals in their current situation, although the selective attention is given to the past experiences so that they can see how they were able to cope up with those experiences. So the use of group as a means to solve the problem, and through that group they can become the positive influence of other members. So pagiging part nila sa group would help them in some of their issues. And we also have task-centered model for groups, which, as the name suggests, would be focused on gathering people to be part of the group so that they get to accomplish something. And this is usually time limited. That's why it is more focused on a particular task. Then the developmental approach by Immanuel Krug has different themes. So we have the humanistic, in which we understand that the group and the worker are sharing common conditions and they are involved in collective undertaking. There is the member-to-member helping approach, which is the main principle to the growth of the members. So we also have phenomenological, which is guided by the here and now concept. That's why among its functions are counseling, activity, structure, and the different objectives. So the life of the group is seen as continuing series of engagements with group tasks, which involve the members in common deliberations, conflict resolutions, and task completion. And the developmental, which is concerned with the functionality rather than pathology, abnormality, or illness, self-actualization rather than treatment. So for return development, it looks at self-realization, how can we improve the individuals and help them achieve their social functioning. The remedial model is a social treatment. So it is is using the group as a means and context for treatment. Then the interactionist approach is utilizing the function of the group so that the social worker will act as the mediator, especially in transactions that would call for linking the different systems. How can an individual be linked so that they will have better experience in their work, in their community, and their school or organization? So the interaction among them. Then group work can also use the crisis intervention approach when there are stressful events and there is a need to help the individual ensure that such crisis situation will be properly dealt with, so towards resolution. So one of the examples that we could use is a form of crisis intervention known as the CISD, or the Crisis Incident Stress Debriefing. So the goal is to process what had happened so that further negative consequences will not continue, or we can also mitigate that impact. So although it's more on psychosocial intervention, it doesn't mean that we will not be offering concrete assistance and services, because we know that in social work, we cannot do away with helping people directly, like providing them food first and shelter before we can sit down and talk to them, understanding that meeting these needs are also essential so that people will feel better. And self-help groups, or we call them as the mutual aid, mutual help and support groups, are also important, especially in dealing with specific concerns, like when you gather people who have same experiences, like they are all trying to stop drug addiction. So their journey towards recovering can be better helped when they are with self-help groups. So this is also a way of helping them find support system. Then we also have group counseling, in which the group of 6 to 10 people would meet weekly or other schedules so that they can talk about their issues and find ways to share best practices on how they were able to resolve the different issues and concerns that they have. So the techniques could include reflection, active listening, clarification, summarizing, recap, thinking, encouraging, focus, cutting off, and modeling. And we also have group therapy, which is a form of psychotherapy. You will be discussing all of this in your discussion in your specific course in your work. And in here, the purpose is to give individuals a safe and comfortable place where they can work out problems and emotional issues. And patients who have difficulty with interpersonal relationships can also benefit from this type of interaction, because they get to deal with people who are also experiencing thoughts or conditions that they can relate to. So the goal is to provide a safe and comfortable place. So you have to, of course, seek the help of other professionals, especially in other issues that could arise during the group therapy, like there could be some suicidal thoughts or other issues that would call for professional help. And this is done by experts. This is facilitated by those with proper training and those who have really studied how to conduct psychotherapy. And the last for this discussion is family therapy. So this is looking into the family unit as a client or as a group. So it is being done with and for the members of the family so that they can explore and improve family relationships and processes. They get to learn to express their emotions, and they can give feedback to one another. They can solve problems together, understand that they are sharing many things, one of which is their roots, and at the same time culture and concerns. And social work with individual clients, or social casework, would lead or would also have as one of its strategy